Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode of Coaching Conversations. And I wanted to make you aware of something very cool that we're doing on a subscription basis, and we'll put a link in each one of our episodes. But every Wednesday, we're going to be doing what we call an audio podcast workshop. That workshop will be roughly about 14 to maybe 20 minutes per episode, with each month having a theme from a coaching model, using feedback strategically, to coaching self-awareness, and so on. So if you could, look in the body or in the content description of each episode, and you will see a link where you can join this subscription. These are literally 4 workshops every month, teaching specific strategies to address a particular area of workplace coaching, as it relates, again, to things like awareness, motivation, teamwork, and what have you. Here's the cool thing. It's only $10 per month, and each month you will get a handout that we will follow along with. So we also give you a tool for you to take notes as we go through each episode. We hope you'll check it out.
You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. And when you think about everything going on, from companies laying off employees and difficult times, I think we can't lose sight of something that's very valuable, and that's resilience in reality. Now, I'm going to make some comments that will probably ruffle some feathers, and I'm okay with that. Yet, I think we have to be honest. We have to be factually correct. And in a recent article I published on LinkedIn, I talked about a woman who got passed over for a promotion, and through some coaching, she was going to eventually stay at the company, but she was seeking, government assistance. She was seeking assistance from her employer to go on a 90-day leave because she was struggling with mental health. Yet it was after she got turned down for a promotion. And I said to her, well, would you have gone on leave if you got the promotion? She said, no. I said, those are two mutually exclusive things. You're using the disappointment as a catalyst to kind of cash in your chips. I said, what if you overcame it? What if you showed resilience? What if you went back to the person who didn't hire you and said, I want some mentoring, I want some help, I want to show you what I can do? How would that differentiate you? And through good conversation, she decided to stay, and she's upbeat, she's positive, but it's a tough time, right? Rejection stinks. And recently I heard another person at a different company got passed over for a promotion and said, I'm just going to take some time off. And the boss didn't do a great job. He didn't exactly handle it as sensitively as he could. He said, seriously, you already know we're understaffed. How do you think this is going to affect your teammates? And immediately put this woman on the defensive. And she said, I don't care. Now, here's the funny thing. Of course she cared. Yet the conversation put her in a position of pushing back and demonstrating the lack of caring. So witnessing this conversation, I sat down with the leader and I said, look, I'm going to ask you a fundamental question, and I really want you to just hear it. I'm not trying to reprimand. I'm not trying to correct you. I really want to know. And I would encourage everybody who coaches to write down 2 words, objective and achieve. So I asked him, first, what was your objective when you approached her, when she wanted to take time off? And what do you think you achieved? When he started answering objective, he started to talk about his frustrations. That was not an answer to the question I was asking. And I said, do you understand what I asked you? And he said, what do you mean? I said, what was your objective when you talked to her? He said, oh, geez, I just kind of went off on a rant. I said, yeah, I do the same thing. And he said, wow, I don't think I achieved anything. And I said, I think you encouraged her to take time off. He said, yeah. And I said, you made it all about you. I said, isn't it interesting? Because reality-wise, you weren't wrong. It's going to have an impact, right? So we went back to her and sat down and said, look, I owe you an apology. I did not handle that well. And I want to apologize. And if you need time off, I'm here for you. What can I do to assist you? And I said, just write out 4 really thoughtful what questions. By the end of the conversation, he came back and said, she's staying. She said she felt defensive. She apologized. I'm telling you, everybody, even in the most difficult and arduous times, if we coach people and ask questions and we bring them back to this thing called resilience in reality. Resilience is overcoming difficult times with a positive reaction. Reality is reality. There isn't an emotion. There isn't time off. There isn't a feeling that typically pays the bills. Companies are in business, typically for profit. Nonprofits also have to generate fundraising revenue. Yet when you think about organizations, When people are not working, that hurts the organization. When they're taking time off, extended periods of time off, and it's paid for, that does not help the organization financially. Yes, it helps the psyche of the employee, and that is important stuff. Yet we have to be very careful that when people are struggling, let's help them tap into resilience. Let's help them tap into reality. Let's help them frame out, what if you were to overcome this challenge? How would that differentiate you? What if you were to demonstrate some resilience in this, albeit very difficult situation? What would that do for you positively? Those are the type of framing questions that can build resilience, build the perspective of the value of resilience. Second, reality. So if you take some time off, what do you think that's going to do for your promotional opportunities? What are you going to do with that time off from a productivity standpoint to rekindle your career? And when I ask those questions, a lot of times people don't have the answers, but the questions serve a very valuable purpose. Look, in the throw of the moment, our emotions will drive us, yet it doesn't always drive us to this thing called reality. We tend to think in the moment. We don't think long term. Now, that's not a bad thing. I just think that we have to be very careful that we can also remind our employees through the art of questions. There's a tremendous value of resilience and reality. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.